This episode is sponsored by Noom. When it comes to staying on track and meeting your health and activity goals, Noom can help. You get matched with a personal goal coach who's actually a real person. They're trained in psychology, fitness, and nutrition. To learn more and try out Noom for yourself, take the free evaluation. It's quick and easy. The link is in the video description. Alright, so the foundation of any great poke bowl literally and figuratively is rice. Usually this takes the form of sushi rice, which you want to rinse thoroughly before cooking and ideally soak in water for 30 minutes. Then we come to the question of cooking the damn stuff, a process for which there are many options. There's the good old-fashioned pot, the fancier schmancier rice cooker, and a pressure cooker, and probably 1,000 other hack ways that involve microwaving it with baby carrots and marbles or something. But these are the methods I'm going to focus on, the old-fashioned ways, if you will. A half cup of rice to 3/4 of a cup of water is the formula for this particular brand of sushi rice, and I'm going to cook each one by pressing the corresponding button on the device, or in the case of the good old-fashioned saucepan method, simmering for 20 minutes with a clean dish towel shoved into the handle, if your pot lid has a steam vent like this one, removing from the heat and allowing to steam for 10 minutes before seasoning with a tablespoon of rice wine vinegar. Give it a fluff with the old fork and we're off to the races. Meanwhile, our 3 different batches of rice have emerged from their various cooking methods, so let's see which one came out best. I was surprised to find that the pressure cooker rice was probably the stickiest of the bunch, with the stovetop rice coming out a little nicer and the rice cooker rice emerging as the clear victor. Keep it covered and let it cool until it's about room temperature, then you're ready to rock. Next up is the veritable star of the show, the fish. I've got some lovely sushi grade tuna here. This is largely a marketing term, but still, I wouldn't use your average supermarket fish here in the States for making sushi. If you can't find sushi grade fish, your best bet is probably go to your local fishmonger and ask them which of their different fish is safe for raw consumption. Once we have our fish of choice broken down into bite-sized pieces, it's time to make a sort of marinade. We got 1 tablespoon of sesame oil, 1.5 tablespoons of soy sauce, half a teaspoon kosher salt, 1/4 teaspoon gochugaru or other crushed red chili flake of some kind, and about a teaspoon of freshly grated ginger. Go ahead and give that a tiny whiskin, and this is going to act as our base marinade for all of our seafood. Now we're going to add some dish-specific mix-ins. For this more traditional Hawaiian-style poke bowl, we're going to add some thinly sliced green scallions, some toasted sesame seeds, some sweet Vidalia onion in place of sweet Maui onion, and a handful of chopped macadamia nuts. Apparently this would traditionally be something called candle nuts, but I've literally never even heard that term before starting to research this episode. Give everything a good mix, cover it up, and let it sit for at least 30 minutes or until ready to serve. The traditional plating for which is extremely simple, 1 bowl for fish and another bowl for rice, which you can optionally spruce up with some toasted black and white sesame seeds. This is about as simple, elegant, and delicious as poke gets. Well-seasoned raw fish, properly cooked white rice, everything a growing boy needs. But here in the States, the bowl craze has taken hold in the poke community. For this version, I'm going to use salmon. As you can see, this one has a sort of gray membrane on the bottom. This is optional to remove. It has a much stronger flavor, so go ahead and strip it off if you want a milder fish. Same base marinade for this stuff, soy sauce, sesame oil, salt, ginger, all that good stuff. Pour it over the fish, give it a mix, let it marinate in the fridge for at least 30 minutes. A little snack for the chef. And while that's marinating, we can optionally make some tenkasu, or crunchy tempura bits. For this, we're basically making a small batch of tempura batter, sifting together 2 ounces of cake flour, a 1/4 teaspoon kosher salt, and mixing in about 4 ounces of club soda. This amount can vary, so go ahead and add more as necessary until the mixture has the consistency of thin paint. You want to be able to drizzle it into some awaiting 375°F oil. A tiny whisk or fork is perfect for forming crispy little bits of deep fried goodness. Go ahead and let these fry for about a minute until they're lightly browned, and then drain on paper towels and set aside to cool. Next, the all-important spicy mayo, which we're going to make from Kewpie mayo, 3 tablespoons of which we're going to combine with 3/4 teaspoon rice wine vinegar, a 1/4 teaspoon sesame oil, and of course 2 teaspoons of sriracha. Give that a little mix and you're ready to spice up anything from poke bowls to sweet potato fries, or anything you want to add a spicy, savory bite to. Now I got a big old cucumber here that I'm going to carve a decorative pattern into using a channel peeler. Totally optional and borderline inadvisable if you have my skill as an artist. Then we're shaving these guys super thin on a mandolin. And with that and a bunch of other toppings, we're ready to assemble. First, our base layer of rice, which I like to top up with some sesame seeds because I'm a sesame seed of freak. Then we're arranging the fish into one corner of the bowl, making sure to top with extra marinade if you value and respect your taste buds. I'm also going to throw a little sliced avocado on there, some of our thinly sliced cukes, a pile of pickled ginger, a little sprinkle of our crispy Tenkasu flakes, of course a generous drizzle of our spicy mayo, some optional nori strips or little strips of dried seaweed, and some more toasted sesame seeds for garnish. And there you have it, the sort of more modern Americanized poke bowl, with a wide variety of textures and flavors for a choose-your-own-adventure lunch. Next up, we're going to try a shrimp poke bowl, for which I want to make some unagi or eel sauce. In a small saucepan, we are combining 2.5 tablespoons of sugar, 1.5 tablespoons of sake, and a 1/4 cup of mirin. Bring that to a simmer, adding 3 tablespoons of soy sauce and continuing to simmer for 10 minutes. Go ahead and let that cool while we prepare our shrimp. I like to go with smaller, more bite-sized shrimp that have been peeled, deveined, and that we're going to steam for 2 minutes or until cooked through. Let these cool to room temp, and then we're ready to rock. Same marinade as the other 2 fish, this time tossing the shrimp in the marinade. Let those hang out for about 30 minutes in the fridge, and then I'm going to plate up this time with some brown sushi rice for added health, topping up with sesame seeds and arranging in different parts of the bowl the shrimp and other fun stuff like a handful of kimchi, a sprinkle of edamame, some thinly sliced green scallions, and of course a sprinkling of sesame seeds, and don't forget our homemade unagi sauce. Maybe a little bit of pickled ginger in the center to round things out, and there you have it. As you can see, poke allows for countless delicious possibilities. Thanks again to Noom for sponsoring today's episode. If you've been wanting to eat better, exercise more, or just make some lifestyle changes, Noom can help. I've used Noom to help me be more conscious of what I eat and when. Their emphasis is on science, not just on numbers on the scale. Your own personalized goal coach will help you achieve your goals. You can also learn from daily lessons like Unprocess Your Diet, which focuses on what's on your plate and balance, which I know I need after some of the dishes on this show. To learn more and try out Noom for yourself, take the free evaluation. The link is in the video description.